What's up, everybody? I am PB Jason.
I am K-Brew.
And we are
on the porch.
Out here.
This is the only place we can go that that any self-respecting man can have any kind of private conversation because...
about very important things.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have very important things to discuss, and we can't discuss them inside because there are too many questions.
Yeah, too many variables.
Too many interruptions. Too many questions. So that's fine. We will bring it out here.
Right.
And we will discuss...
And my man cave, it turned into my mom cave because now my mom is moving into the man cave. So we're kind of here. That's all right.
So your mom cave.
It'll be the mom cave, yeah.
Mom cave, man cave.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, she'll just expect us to clean this place up when we're done.
Got to earn her keep around here. I'm joking. You're right. Sorry, Mom.
That's all right. So we're out here. We're going to discuss the important things we need to discuss from the porch.
Yeah.
And you may, I don't know, have some idea of tonight's theme a little bit. I don't know. There might be one or two clues as to what the subject matter might be on tonight.
I don't know. Dude, if we have this every night. But whatever. I bet you Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Or Star Trek.
Vulcans.
Oh, my God.
Live long and prosper.
I love coffee.
You love coffee? I love Mountain Dew Zero. I'm going to open my Mountain Dew Zero up right now.
Yeah, make sure you face it towards...
To where I'm not, like,
we are
electronics.
We are not endorsed by Mountain Dew. He just likes it and, you know...
Mountain Dew Zero.
Yeah, don't sue us. Anyway.
But if you want to endorse us, I got no issue.
No problems for selling out.
So Star Wars is vast.
You know, there was a time when selling out was like the cardinal sin, and now it's like, really?
Now it's like the
sell out for like.
It's like the Pied Piper plan. You just sell out, get in the line, follow right off the cliff, sell out.
Dude, absolutely. Like, it's just where it's like the forget it. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
let's talk about Star Wars.
Talk about Star Wars. Now, Star Wars is vast subject. We could talk about all sorts of things, but I want to focus on something that has been talked about before.
Let's be real. Let's focus on something that we still have not
resolved
in our own
we're obsessive.
Yeah,
we just can't get over it.
Yeah, this is got nothing to do with what is popular, although it is popular-ish, and more to do with we can't figure it out. So we're going to try to figure it out here. Does that make sense?
No, but I like it. It was sounding good to me. All right, so
you know, the more coffee I drink, the more incoherent I get. So.
All right. So let me lay it out for you. We'll go. There was a time where George Lucas said, "I don't want to do this no more. Anyone want to buy this property?" Disney said, "George, yoo-hoo, I got $4 billion that I'll drop on you."
Right.
George said, "Write that check."
Speaking of selling out.
George said, "Write that check," and Disney became the owner of Star Wars. I mean, why not? They own just about everything.
Right.
Why not Star Wars too? Disney buys Star Wars. Disney decides that they are going to make the sequel trilogy, and that is going to be one of the focuses of that is going to be the focus of this discussion. That is going to be the focus of this discussion tonight.
You've only had like 2 sips of...
I know, and it's no alcohol or anything.
Great. All right, cool. So
the subject for tonight, in my opinion, and possibly in yours, and we may be on the same page on this, we may not, is J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson.
So we're talking about the sequel.
The sequel trilogy.
Okay.
J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, and initially Colin Trevorrow, but he got the axe. And lucky him.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. And it ended up being J.J. Abrams.
It's like
J.J. Abrams.
Can you imagine Colin Trevorrow? Like, God, man, I'm so glad I dodged that bullet.
He's probably like,
like he's probably like so bummed, and then he's like, yeah, then he's like,
thank you.
Yeah.
And now he's like, hey, you mind if I write a Mandalorian episode or two?
Yeah,
Do you?
Sweet. Okay.
So J.J. Abrams, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams. Okay, that was the order of the directors.
Yeah, J.J. bookended the whole thing.
Right. And so the sequel trilogy, in hindsight, All right? People have mixed opinions still. People love it. People hate it.
I was in a conversation the other day about the sequel trilogies, and one of the guys at work, we were talking, and he had brought up a point, and I agree with him. Like, as a whole, if you watch them back to back to back, they are very terrible. If you watch them like one on one day, one on the other day, one on the other day, they range from to like really terrible. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, they're not bad taken as individual movies, because I didn't think The Force Awakens was terrible.
Right.
I thought The Last Jedi was terrible.
Right. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
All right.
This is my proposed argument.
Okay.
I think J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson were both wrong choices. I think they were both wrong choices for Star Wars.
Oh, are we going to get into who would be a right choice?
No, I don't know. Not at this point.
Okay.
Because there's kind of been some evidence in newer Star Wars and Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Of who some of those right choices might be.
Yeah, absolutely. Favreau and Filoni.
And I would add in people like Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard.
Right.
You know, various creative talents that have done really good things in that show. But going back to the sequel trilogy, we're going to divide this up into a debate discussion on several sections of why, and then the most important sections, in my opinion, of why I think they were both wrong. So we're going to begin with characters. Okay?
First of all, I'm going to take just to state my opinion at the outset of this.
Okay.
Or the onset, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I don't think JJ was a bad choice. Maybe in hindsight he was. I don't think he was initially. Right? Okay. I think.
Why don't you could just begin? So you're beginning. So begin.
Because I like him as a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, again, I am not hard to please when it comes to movies. I mean, I really just I can enjoy a movie. I like The Phantom Menace the first couple of times I saw it. I know. I mean, as cheesy as some of the stuff was, I could overlook Jar Jar Binks for the most part. I'm just saying. You know, it's like I was entertained. I was entertained by The Force Awakens. Was I blown away in the same way that I was when I saw Star Wars the first time? I was 6 when I saw Star Wars the first time. And you can't, I'd never seen anything like that. That being said...
Yeah, me too. I mean, Star Wars was life-changing.
I like what JJ did with Star Trek. Again, a lot of people don't.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. I think the reason that he kind of got the nod
was because of Star Trek. Right, and he did a decent job with it. I mean...
He did.
Again, and I think that the problem that happens is... People build up expectations. You've got so much history of Star Wars now that, and we've had these conversations they play the "wouldn't it be cool if" game. Wouldn't it be cool if, Rey was Kenobi, right? Whatever you want to say, right? And then you put these expectations on the movie that never get met for the most part.
Right. Well, let's focus on characters for a minute.
Okay.
Let's stick to that thing for a sec.
Am I all over the place on this one?
What's new? That's all right. So let's talk about the characters.
Right.
J.J. Abrams was handed several new main characters in this.
Was he handed or he created? He wrote
and created several new main characters. Well, we got to take one step back, all right? Mm-hmm. One thing that Disney did, and they illustrated it actually in The Force Awakens when the Starkiller base blew up the New Republic planets. Mm-hmm. That was an illustration of how the Star Wars expanded universe, almost all this stuff, was null and void. They nulled and voided it in several shots from the very inefficiently powered Starkiller base.
Right.
And thus, that's one of the big sticking points for the fans. It's also something that they are correcting in these new Star Wars shows.
See, again, that didn't bother me, but I never journeyed much beyond much beyond the movies. Tales from Mos Eisley's Canteen and Tales from Jabba's Palace and the Tales from the Bounty Hunter Tales, and like maybe a few of the Clone Wars.
Right.
So I was like, whatever. That didn't bother me.
I don't own the Zahn books, and so I don't have them displayed here. But the Zahn books, the 3 Timothy Zahn, Dark Force Rising, that was the second one. The Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command.
Right.
That's the 3 books. That was the what people were hoping would eventually come from a sequel trilogy.
Right.
However, that didn't happen. Disney blew up the ego.
Yeah, but I understand why they would actually make. I agree in some respect with them taking the book universe and kind of making it Legends.
I do and I don't, but essentially I don't think that the blowing it up the way they did was classy.
Yeah.
I really don't, but that's
okay.
Neither here nor there.
Right.
So we get a clean slate of characters. We get Rey, we get Finn, we get Poe, we get Kylo Ren. Okay, that's the main 4 that we'll focus on.
Okay.
Of the new ones.
Right.
We also get Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, and sorry, are we interrupting?
No, yeah, no. Car keys, sorry.
Sitting all alone with my Mountain Dew Zero. Oh, are you back now?
Yeah.
Did you deal with whatever had to be dealt with?
Yeah, I had the car keys in my pocket.
I mean, we come out here and
I
yet
had the car keys in my pocket. She needed the car keys. What are you going to do? Okay. She's going to the grocery store.
Oh, so. Well, yeah, like
cool.
you do.
All right,
like
so
I do sometimes. All right, as I was saying, JJ presents 4 new characters. JJ also deals with 3. Chewbacca too.
Well, what about BB-8? It's actually a new character.
BB-8, okay, a new character too, right? And is handed also Han Solo, Chewbacca, Leia, and a little flash of Luke at the end. Of Force Awakens, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
This is what I think JJ did right. I think that...
Who would play... Yeah.
What?
I was going to say, who was the Max von Sydow character? I have a feeling he was an important character, and someone just...
they never
and someone just wee-weed all over.
But that comes down to a later
right,
part
okay.
of this, too. So what JJ did right, in my opinion, I'm just going to lay... You could give me yours, too. But with the new characters, I think he presented them interestingly. He gave them an interesting introduction.
Right.
Especially Finn and Rey. Poe was a little bit sloppy to me, but Finn and Rey for sure.
Okay.
And then what he did right, and a lot of people are going to disagree with this because of what eventually ended up happening to Han Solo in the movie. But what he did absolutely right was presented the legacy characters with the full and absolute respect that they deserved.
Right. I'm pretty sure that Harrison Ford probably wanted to die in this movie.
He absolutely did. Yeah, that's public knowledge that he wanted to actually die. He wanted to actually die.
Okay, well, real quick, let's do a quick touch on each character. Rey, I thought they like in the Force Awakens, they set her up very well.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Agreed.
Was she a Mary Sue? I don't know. I think she later did become one.
I think the only reason she was and why that was set up that way. Well, we'll get to that. I won't say that now. Go ahead.
Okay.
So she was set up maybe a Mary Sue.
But she's been on the planet for a while, right? And she's been a scavenger. So like having a skill set.
There's a number of things in her skill set that I did not think were Mary Sue. I think that she could talk to droids. Yeah. Sure, why not? She could talk to aliens. Why not?
Yeah. And as far as like
she could ride the speeder. She could pilot. She could do those things.
And I think fighting, like even with a lightsaber.
Yeah, she had that weapon.
Yeah, that isn't a far stretch.
Right.
So
not at all.
Finn. Okay, Poe was set up like he was sloppy, but I think intentionally so. I think Poe was a good kind of roguish.
Supposed to be the likable, almost the Han Solo.
Oh yeah,
in some ways.
Han Solo's a little bit more of a rough customer. I think.
Right.
I think they sent.
Poe is supposed to be a bit more likable, I think.
I think so, but
A charming rogue.
right, and he was good because he was. I felt that okay, I can get behind this character. I think Finn could have had the most interesting story arc.
I think he had the most interesting setup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, a stormtrooper.
Yeah, they set him up like
a First Order stormtrooper,
right.
which was different than how they used to do.
Right. So they set him up.
They didn't clone him, and they didn't send out AARP cards like,
Yeah.
hey, all these old people that can't shoot,
Yeah.
come and join the Empire.
Right. And even like at the beginning where I know the ghetto birds are out tonight.
Ghetto birds.
Where like you had the blood hand on the helmet, like where the guy like had put the bloody handprint on his helmet. I was like, oh wow, that's dark. That's different, but I'm okay. I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. And he did, like I said, he had the best, I think, setup.
I was into the emotional part of him.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
He had the most to grow. I
mean,
think.
there was some quality acting in The Force Awakens. Actually, I think that it stepped up from what we had seen before.
Right.
Especially in the prequels. Like the line deliveries, just acting in general.
Yeah, and I think that
and he was part of that, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. No, I was into the Finn story. So
Right.
Anyway, okay. BB-8. What did they do with him? No, joking.
He rolled.
It's a little droid.
Could roll on anything.
You know,
could
Bill
roll
Hader,
on sand. Could roll on could roll on water.
Bill Hader
lava.
did his voicing.
Oh,
Yeah, but they ran it through I think an ARP 2600 or something like that.
I liked BB-8.
Yeah, it was all right. It didn't bother me.
I mean, for them to do another kind of R2-ish character,
Right.
but make it
Considering
original,
R2 was kind of like,
deactivated.
yeah, he had to have somebody.
Sitting there at basically
Right.
a doorstop.
Right.
They were setting like drinks on him.
Okay, so the characters,
Where's my beer? Oh, it's sitting on R2.
and how JJ set up Kylo Ren, right?
Was awesome.
Was great. You sense the conflict, you sense the out of control, like the spoiled, rotten, out of control. Like I want what
Resentful.
I want. Yeah, like. I mean,
and totally, again, making him the wannabe Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Was brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, because Darth Vader, if anything, Anakin was impetuous.
Right.
And impatient. Darth Vader was anything but. He was very in control, and he had control, and Kylo did not have that.
No, Kylo was conflicted the whole time. Read my lips. Kylo Ren was conflicted the entire time. Did you get that?
No.
Okay, because that's gonna come back.
Okay.
It's gonna come back. All right.
All right.
And what about the legacy characters? What about Han Solo?
You know what? Like you said, Han Solo. There was a.
I loved how he let him be kind of broken.
Yeah.
Well, not a little bit damaged, but he also let him still be Han Solo.
Right, and like I said, there was a little bit of comic relief there.
A little bit with the whole when the smugglers were on the ship.
Yeah.
And the two pirate groups showed up at the same time to.
Yeah, he was. Like, here's the thing. He wasn't Han from New Hope. He was Han that was on the sail barge at Jabba's palace.
Okay.
But he never went back to the absolute badassery that he was.
He was Han with PTSD. He was Han who was older.
Yeah.
He was Han who had lost his son to the dark side.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is he was also kind of like he became a little bit bumbling at the end of.
You'd be bumbling when you're 96 too.
No, at the end of what do you call it? Return of the Jedi. He was a little bit.
He was in love.
He was bumbling. He wasn't he was awesome. He was almost Clint Eastwood-esque character in New Hope. He kind of became the leader in Empire, And then he kind of like got unfrozen from carbonite, and it was like, who is this guy in Jedi?
Wouldn't that have been funny though in Jedi, like when they did pull his blaster and just shoot the Ewok, just blow the frickin' Ewok away?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, pew!
But you know what I'm
Luke
saying?
be like, Han,
you can't
shoot them.
But I was hungry. But you know what I'm saying? Like so it was the Return of the Jedi, Han.
Right. So that in summary is what I think J.J. Abrams did right with the characters.
Okay.
This is what I think he did wrong. I think he did several things wrong. Okay.
He made the movie.
No. He did several.
What about Snoke? That we did not mention Snoke, the villain.
I think he set him up well.
Okay.
I think he set him up well.
I do too.
I don't have much more to say than that. I mean, you got Andy Serkis, who's like so talented, and then set him up with the whole like. But I also think Snoke fits into what he did wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
This is what JJ did. This is the main thing that JJ does wrong. JJ Abrams is far too interested in setting up mysteries. I've said this before. He's way into his mystery boxes. He's so into mystery box after mystery box after mystery box that it gets in the way of the other two subjects that we'll eventually talk about in these films.
While we're on this thing, the mystery boxes, okay, which would be Rey's lineage.
When you set up so many questions, now granted, he had outlined the entire trilogy.
Right.
So maybe it would have been okay. But he always does this.
Yeah.
Who's Rey? Who's Snoke? Who's Maz Kanata? Who's, Unkar Plunt? Why is the Millennium Falcon in Unkar Plunt's possession?
Right.
Who is Phasma? What is her deal in things? Why is, what happened to, Han? How did Han lose the Falcon? All these things, and that's JJ.
Right. But I do think that he probably had answers for every single one. Like, and the one that they didn't really, and not that they could, but the Knights of Ren, it's like became.
Who were the Knights of Ren?
Became like a non-entity. Really, it's kind of like maybe they tried to bring him back in the last movie.
But I still think that's the main thing he did wrong. I think he set up too many mysteries surrounding these characters. If you take even the ships, because in some ways the Falcon is a character in a way,
Right.
What I mean?
Okay.
To set up too many mysteries, which again, you may have a point that because his outline got drastically changed in the next movie, you may have a point.
Yeah.
Okay? But I'm not sure. But I still think that's one of his problems.
But here's the thing, though. Like, that's obviously we're debating this. So it's debatable. Mm-hmm. There's basically two schools of thought. No, doing my Dwight from The Office. No, what I'm saying is that I was into it. I was like, okay. I don't think there were too many plot points, like too many mysteries that couldn't have been solved in 2 movies.
Yeah, but this is him. You take Cloverfield as an example, and I'm going to have a brief little Cloverfield synopsis. I read an interview with JJ about Cloverfield, okay? I went to Japan. I was fascinated by Godzilla in Japanese culture. My goal after...
So you're quoting JJ.
Paraphrasing JJ.
Okay. So you're channeling JJ.
I'm channeling
because you didn't go to Japan.
I did not go to Japan. You were channeling JJ's trip to Japan, where he went and saw how Godzilla is so enmeshed in the culture of Japan.
Great.
He's an icon. He's the Clint Eastwood of Japan.
Sweet. Okay.
Not JJ, Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla is the Clint Eastwood of Japan. There's giant robots, and Ultraman, Godzilla. Okay, and their popularity in Japan is off the charts. So JJ, I want to make the American Godzilla. I want to make a monster that Americans can culturally grasp onto and become. I mean, we already had King Kong, JJ, but he wants to do, that whole thing. That's what he wants to do. And then he sets up this movie, and Cloverfield was good, but tons of unanswered questions. Okay?
Well, I mean,
Just
again,
what he
I think you
does.
said, yeah, okay.
But
I'll
look,
give you
he's
that.
done 2 other Cloverfield movies and hasn't tied them together in any good way.
But did he produce them or did he write them and direct them?
I don't remember
Okay.
off the top of my head whether he directed or not, but he was still the mind behind.
Okay.
I think he wrote Cloverfield,
Right.
And I think he's the mind behind wanting to create the American Godzilla in
Right, right.
Clover. But all he did was create a big mystery. And where's Clover today? Where does Clover sit on the giant monster cultural
No, it doesn't,
totem
because
pole?
you never saw the giant monster, really.
Right. Again, that's JJ, and that's what JJ did wrong in Star Wars. He set up too many mysteries.
Okay. No, okay. So,
Okay.
all right. But you got to admit that having the mysteries there, like, we spent hours talking about the like what they could be. Like what, like, you know, like, oh my gosh, what's Rey's lineage?
Yeah, but there's a good side and a bad side to that.
Yeah.
Okay? The good side and bad side.
Well, the bad side, like the good side is like the you get a responsible filmmaker for the next movie, and the bad side is you get fucking Ryan Johnson. Excuse my language.
The other thing that JJ did wrong with characters, in my opinion, is it was very important to him to de-emphasize the importance of Luke Skywalker in the first movie. Okay? Because he had said, again, here is another paraphrase from J.J. Abrams.
Okay.
J.J. Abrams said that there was a whole lot of Luke at the end of the film. There was much more planned Luke at the end of the film when he meets Rey. Okay?
Right.
There was floating rocks. There was Rey coming upon him, them having a bit of a dialogue. There was supposed to be, and what happened was, I guess, he says, JJ says, that Luke Skywalker had so much focus that it was taking away from his new characters. That it was taking away from the new characters. Now, I don't know if he had Luke in other scenes, but he basically cut 99% of what Luke was supposed to do in The Force Awakens because of the focus that was taken away from the new characters.
Well, do you think he was going to visit it in the next movie?
I don't know, but he never let them get together. Yes, Leia and Han had a reunion, it was nice. He never let the main 3 get together.
Right.
He never let them have their moments that everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see.
Right.
You know?
Again, it's a
Now he may have had complicating factors because, again, Harrison wanted Han to die.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, again, where people will disagree, but I think that that was handled very well.
yeah. I think it was good.
There's a lot of people that think that JJ
It was a pretty
there.
emotionally heavy
Yeah.
scene.
There are people that think JJ, I mean, when he said Ben, I got goosebumps. But,
yeah, you knew it was coming, but yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty predictable, but you knew. But there were people that were like, how dare he kill Han Solo? And then But we would have even had Han Solo.
Yeah, like if Han didn't want to die, if
Harrison didn't want to die, JJ wouldn't have killed him.
No.
Because JJ loves those characters.
Right. Not to mention, like, I mean, let's look at it from a purely business standpoint. Han and Chewbacca are a very bankable commodity. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
anyway.
So now we move on to the next guy and characters. Okay? Let's talk about Ryan Johnson and the characters. Okay? The characters that he was presented in The Force Awakens.
Right.
And the legacy, both the legacy and the new characters.
Okay. What did he do right and what did he do wrong?
Yeah, what did he do right?
Just
Okay, so we pretty much covered what he did right. He did nothing right. He did nothing right with the characters in
with the legacy
in The
characters.
Last Jedi.
I don't think he did anything right.
Even with the new ones.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
He did nothing
And
right.
actually, he didn't do right with even like the characters that he created.
Correct.
Holdo.
Right. Oh yeah. So let's move right along from that, from what he did right into what he did wrong.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, he made Finn a punchline.
He turned Finn from...
No, we're just talking over here. It's cool.
Sorry. Is that dog named Finn?
Yeah, I know.
He took Finn from a compelling character.
Right, yeah.
Turned him into comedy relief and attached him to Rose Tico.
Right.
One of his creations, who, again, not Kelly Tran's fault that she was written so badly, but she was written so badly.
Yeah.
You know, latched her to him, turned him into a punchline.
Right.
Took Poe from dashing, charming Ro into unlikable prick. Transformed him from into borderline misogynist, unlikable prick.
Right.
For one purpose. To make Admiral Holdo a strong female character.
Right.
Okay? Even though he already had like the
8 million.
ultimate strong female character in General Leia.
Right.
You didn't need another one. You had all that you needed in her. Okay? Let's not even discuss what he did with... Okay, well, no, let's... Rey. What did he do wrong with Rey?
He made her, again, you never had any sense that Rey was going to fail at anything.
Right. This is where he created the Mary Sue,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because where Rey should have been absolutely efficient in the desert as a scavenger, repairing droids, flying speeders, being a pilot, none of that I disagreed with. But there is nothing in her Jedi-ness, in her learning to be a Jedi, that should have been as easy as it came to her.
Right. Here's the one thing, too, that is weird, and again, this might not even be worth mentioning, but the fact that she'd never seen so much water in her life, right?
She'd never seen so much water in her life.
Like, remember she was like, and then she's on this island, and she's it's like, you don't think that she would have been like a little bit leery of being on an island? I mean, yeah, maybe that's like a detail that...
That's interesting.
You know, but it's like, there's no like, how do I react to this? You know, like, I don't know. Again, that's like probably a detail that you know, doesn't need to be mentioned,
Right.
but it just...
And then, of course, there's Kylo. There's conflicted Kylo. That's actually what I'm going to call him, because that's what he was. Conflicted Kylo, who never, ever was not conflicted.
Right. Here's the other thing, too, and this is, again, a little detail that I hate, but he changed the location of the scar on Kylo because, it didn't look right.
Well, you know.
I
sure.
mean,
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about? It's like, look, like there's clearly, you know, right here, and now it's like right here.
Right. He also unceremoniously killed Admiral Ackbar because he thought, he's not really important. It's a trap. That's all he was. He's a trap.
He was a meme.
It's a trap guy. That's all he was.
Right.
So who cares if he just killed him on the bridge of the rebel, cruiser?
Yeah, I know.
And didn't even mention it, other than a passing.
You know what? Rian Johnson is just... Well, okay, go ahead. Just finish up your thing, because...
Well, okay, so we're talking about what he did wrong with characters. That's
right.
where we are at. We're talking about characters. So he introduced a bunch of characters that were poorly conceived. Holdo. Rose Tico.
What was
other than Rose Tico's sister was probably the best conceived character in the whole film. The opening of The Last Jedi was the only part of that film worthy of being called Star Wars, in my opinion.
Yes, if they would have edited a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
That whole, prank phone call thing, that went on about 30 seconds longer than it needed to go.
Yeah.
It's like, let's beat this joke into the ground. You know?
Beat it to just death, exactly. And they did. But, okay, but that aside, there's very little criticism I have of the opening, other than, why do those bombers move so slow? But then again, this is going to get into Rian Johnson and his pacing. Back to characters, okay? Snoke, he turned him from this compelling mystery into what? Hugh Hefner in space?
Well, that's what he had said, that he wanted to do, like a Hugh Hefner in space. It's weird. It's just weird, you know?
Right. And then, you know, as we already mentioned, Kylo Ren. He turned Kylo Ren into, you know, he kept him conflicted. But let's get to the biggest atrocity of all, the biggest character atrocity of all, the biggest failure of understanding a character of all in Jake Skywalker.
Yeah.
Because I will refuse in this part of this discussion to call him Luke, because Mark Hamill himself calls that character in The Last Jedi Jake Skywalker.
Yeah,
you know that story?
Yeah.
So Rian Johnson, I mean, Jake Skywalker.
Right.
There are people, this is the biggest point of argument, there are people that think that what he did with Jake was genius, because it subverted expectations about Jake. It made Jake more of a real character, and it humanized Jake in such a way that made sense. No, it did not.
You know what? The thing is, I watch Star Wars not because I'm looking for realism. You know what I'm talking about? I can deal with one-dimensional, multifaceted characters. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, I'm not watching for like, oh, let's humanize Skywalker. It's like, no, I want Luke to be Luke.
There are like a million little things I could pick apart about this, but I'm going to pick apart the main ones. And this is still going to be, there are people out there that are going to be watching this that are going to be like, PB, you are full of crap. You still don't understand. You never understood. You still don't understand. You just don't understand. But here's the deal.
I understand. I personally understand completely what he was trying to do.
Here's what he did. Here's the egregious atrocities that he did with Jake, or that he did with Luke to turn him into Jake. Okay? Never mind, you know, cliff milking of whatever those were. That's nothing. The very first thing that he did was he took the young moisture farmer with huge blue eyes, who looked at the universe with wonder and awe and amazement, who, when he started to understand that there were people that needed him or that needed his help, that he needed to be involved with, he dove in with both feet.
Right, yeah.
He was hope. In fact, when they changed Star Wars to A New Hope, that's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Okay? A New Hope. Luke Skywalker was the embodiment of hope, and it didn't matter what the odds were.
Right.
Okay? The princess is in trouble. We have to go help her. The princess is a prisoner on this battle station. I know Obi-Wan told us to wait here, but we need to go help her.
Right.
Han has been taken in a vision while I'm Jedi training, and my friends are in trouble. I have to go help them.
Right.
Han's been frozen in carbonite, is in Jabba's palace. I have to go rescue him.
Yeah.
You know?
But dude,
I need to fly my X-Wing against the Death Star. I mean, this is Luke. Luke was hope.
But you don't understand how You don't understand how conflicted Kylo was. He had to kill him.
Well, there we go. Here, I'm glad you brought that up because
He had it, dude. There was no other choice.
Right. Doesn't matter that Yoda said that always in motion is the future.
Right.
I can't see the future. Luke suddenly could, and his ever conflicted, struggling nephew was going to become such a dark and evil
Right.
part of the. His father, Darth Vader. There's good in you.
Right.
There's good in you. He went to the Death Star, the second Death Star, with his father
But
to face the
like,
Emperor,
here's
to
the-
tell the Emperor that one, you won't turn me,
Right.
and two,
I can
I'm going to turn him back.
The thing is that
I just don't get it. I
yeah,
just don't understand.
No, the whole idea and like showing conflicted Kylo.
Conflicted Kylo.
He always had he's always conflicted. It's not like he was just like non-conflicted Kylo. Like oh, this kid's gonna turn into whatever. Like they're gonna turn into the evil of the whole universe.
Of all the evil.
Yeah. He's just going to go and kill him. But, that's, the biggest travesty that he did with Luke's character. But he jacked that whole movie up. I mean, again, I established the fact that I enjoy movies for the most part. I can go in there and enjoy it and not really analyze too much while I'm watching it, right? In the middle of The Last Jedi, I was like, wow, this sucks. This is I can't believe.
Well, for so many reasons, but basically, since we're talking about characters right now,
I know.
that's what he did wrong.
Yeah, but the Benicio del Toro character, it's like, well, this is stupid. I mean, every character that he introduced, this is stupid.
Right, and he did it all under the I'm subverting expectations, which, to wrap this part of the segment up, to wrap this up here,
Yeah.
okay, you can say you're subverting expectations. And the idea of subverting expectations is not necessarily the worst idea in the world. But if you subvert expectations badly,
It is.
it is.
Yeah.
It's the worst idea.
But, I mean, the thing is, you can subvert expectations, make a good movie, and get your point across. There is and again, people will probably disagree with me on this, but fact is Rian Johnson has 3 movies to do whatever he wants to do, or he did. I don't know if that's still up in the air. He can make the forces for anybody's movies. You know what I'm saying? In his new trilogy that he was going to do, right? Yeah, that's going to happen now. But you know what I'm talking about? He you have a movie. You
saw that recent article on his new trilogy.
Yeah, it's so stupid. He can make the orphans, the Force orphans, whatever you want to call it, whatever he did on that, right? There's a certain responsibility I think as a filmmaker you have when you get a second movie in a trilogy to make it not your movie, your story. You need to tell your story. It's you can't tell your story. You know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the problem that I have with Rian Johnson.
Right. That's the problem that I have with Rian Johnson as it relates to characters.
Right.
So, if you're watching this video still and you haven't fallen asleep, subscribe, and enjoy. And we are going to continue this conversation
next week.
Promptly.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're going to continue this conversation right now. So and subscribe.
We're going to talk about the plot next.